This amplitude assign or the frequency assign is such that when high frequency of the carrier is assigned for your logic 1 and low frequency is assigned for your logic level 0. Okay. So, if we talk about BFSK, the scheme employed for modulation is for logic level 1, we will transmit and carrier with a higher frequency. Okay. And for your logic level 0, we are going to transmit and carrier with lower frequency. So, the frequency of the carrier is changed for logic level 1 and logic level 0. That is a simple concept of BFSK. Now talking about transmitter, a very simple logical transmission block diagram is we have to study. In that, the input is either your logic 1 or 0, that is your digital signal. Okay, so this input is given to two parallel blocks. One block, there will be a multiplier, so we will call it as multiplier 1 suppose, and in the another block there is an inverter and multiplier, so there is an inverter. So what inverter is there? It is a logic gate, not gate. So what is the not gate truth table? Whenever the input to this inverter is 1, the output will be logic 0, and when the input to this is logic 0, the output is logic 1. Okay, so it will just invert the input. So there is an inverter, and this 2 multiplier, the second input or the first multiplier is a carrier with high frequency. So we have a carrier, suppose A cos, and its frequency is higher, so I will write it as omega h. H denotes for high frequency, omega ht. Okay, instead of omega ct I have written here omega ht. And the second multiplier will be having an carrier with lower frequency, the same carrier with the same amplitude A but with different frequency, A cos of omega L. So this L will denote the lower frequency, omega LT. Okay, so this will be the second multiplier, and the output of first and second multiplier both are given to the adder circuit. So this is given to an adder circuit. So while giving the input to the adder circuit, so both blocks input is given to your adder circuit, and both are at, as it is an adder, both input will be at positive point. Okay. So both will be at positive point. This is multiplier 1, this is multiplier 2. Both will be given to an positive input. Okay. So the input is given to the adder and the output is your BFSK. This is nothing but your B here. Yes. Okay. B. That is your binary frequency shift keying waveform. Okay. So this is simple concept of BFSK transmitter. So what we give input here? Here input given is your modulating signal. Now this modulating signal is your digital signal, and this will be either at in given bit interval, it will be either one logic or zero logic. Okay. So we'll consider that a given bit interval, if the input is logic 1, so this logic 1 passes to both the branches. It is given to the upper branch and the lower branch of your logical diagram of your transmitter. So when it is given to the upper branch, it will be multiply, this carrier will be multiplied by 1. So it will be 1 into suppose a cos of omega ct. 1 means it is multiplied by an amplitude having some amplitude, suppose uh, peak amplitude of a, so it will be a into a, or we can say uh, having some bit interval a, but for your understanding we'll say it is logic 1. So logic 1 will be having some positive amplitude, and that will be multiplied with your carrier like this. And at this block it is given to inverter. So inverter, the input will be 1 and the output will be logic 0. So as far as our understanding, this logic 0 will consider as 0 volt. Okay. So this second carrier is multiplied by 0 volt. So as it is multiplied by 0 volt, the output of second carrier will be obviously 0. So at the output we'll get an carrier with a higher frequency a cos of omega HT. So this is a conceptual transmitter block diagram of your BFSK. Okay. So what we get at the output is an carrier with higher frequency when the input is logic 1. Okay. When the input is logic 0, we'll say it is a 0 volt. So it is multiplied with this upper branch. So the output of upper branch will be 0, and in the lower branch, this logic 0 is converted to logic 1, means some positive voltage, and it gets multiplied with the lower branch. So the output of your BFSK will be A cos of omega LT. That is a lower frequency component. So from this conceptual diagram, it is very much clear that as if the logic 1 input is applied to your BFSK, the output will be a higher frequency component of carrier, that is your omega H. And for your logic 0, the component will be changed to the lower frequency component omega L. Okay. So at any time, the output of VFSK is either your higher frequency component of carrier or a lower frequency component of your carrier. Okay. So this is just one conceptual block diagram of BFSK transmitter. Okay. Now we'll see the receiver for this BFSK transmitter. So the receiver block diagram. So either the input to the receiver will be your BFSK waveform, and also it is having two branches at the receiver side also, the upper branch and the lower branch. The upper branch first it will get a multiplier there, and also a lower branch we have a multiplier here. Then at the output of multiplier, we connect one integrator that will integrate this input value, that is the output of your multiplier, for a bit interval 0 to TB. So there is an integrator placed at the output of each multiplier at the lower and upper branch that will integrate your signal to an integration interval of 0 to TB. TB is the bit interval of 1 bit of your input modulating signal. Okay. So this is your 0 to TB integrator. So integrator are placed at the output of your multiplier, and the output of integrator are then given to your adder circuit, are given to your adder circuit. Okay. And the output of adder is then given to your decision device, and the output of decision device will be your modulating signal, that is the detected modulating signal, that is it will be either logic 1 or logic 0. So this is the conceptual block diagram of BFSK receiver. So here the first multiplier will add a lower frequency component carrier, that is A cos of omega LT, the same carrier that we have used at the receiver side. So it is called as a coherent detection. Coherent detection means we require the carrier and the receiver to demodulate the signal. Then it is called as a coherent receiver. So a lower frequency carrier is used given to the multiplier, first multiplier, and the second multiplier we give an higher frequency carrier. So A cos of omega h t. Okay. So this arrangement is there, conceptual arrangement of BFSK receiver. So two multipliers are there, two integrators are there, one adder is there, and one decision device is there, and the input to this is your BFSK. Now, as we have seen at the receiver side, your BFSK signal will be either omega L or omega H. That is, it will be having either higher frequency component or a lower frequency component. All other components are same. That is, its peak amplitude and phase is same for both logic 1 and logic 0. But its frequency will change to either omega L or omega H, or you can write it as 2 pi fh or 2 pi fl if you talk in terms of frequency. Okay, so this input, if we consider if an logic 1 was transmitted, then what will get the input to is an omega h. So we'll get an signal that is A cos of omega h t, suppose. That is that BFSK output transmitted for your logic level 1. So it will transmitted to both the branches. It is given to the both the branches. The upper branch, if you see, there is an omega h component. So the output of the upper branch for this input, that is the logic level 1, will be A square cos square omega st, as both the components are same, omega h and omega h. That is, the omega h is given as an input, so it will be a square term at the output of the multiplier. In the lower multiplier, your both these two frequencies are different, so the component will be a into a, it will be a square, but here the component will be cos of, as the frequencies are different, we cannot take the square cos square term here. We have to take the two components cos A and cos B. So cos A will be, suppose, omega h t multiplied by omega cos of omega lt, multiplied by cos of omega lt. Okay. So in the lower component, the two frequency component added multiplied are different, so we'll not get an cos square term. Now, as these both inputs are given to your integrator, now what is connected is the integrator. So the square input is given to the integrator in the upper branch, and this second term, multiplier term, is given to the integrator in the lower branch. Here, what we do is this adder, it is having two different signs. Here it is given as positive, and here it is given to negative. So this adder will act as a subtractor. This adder will act as a subtractor in the BFSK receiver. So quite obviously, if you see, if you carry out the integration, this square value will be always greater than this multiplication value. Okay, so as the value or the output of the integrator in the upper arm is greater than the lower arm, the output of subtractor will be positive, because your positive term is greater than your uh, second, that is the negative term given to the subtractor. So when the input is logic level 1 or the BFSK signal for logic level 1, the output of the subtractor is positive. Similarly, when we give the input or the BFSK signal is an logic level 0 is an BFSK signal generated for logic level 0, what will be there at the output? Input to your BFSK receiver, it will be cos of omega LT. So it will go in both the branches, and most obviously we can say there will be a square term in the lower branch and there will be a multiplied term in the upper branch. So now the negative component or the lower branch component at the output of integrator will be greater than the positive component, and the output of subtractor will be negative. Okay. So what decision device has to detect? It will detect if the output of the subtractor is positive, it will take the decision in favor of logic level 1, and if the output of the subtractor is negative, it will take the decision in favor of logic level 0. So this is how your BFSK signal is coherently detected at the receiver side. Okay. So this is the concept used for your BFSK receiver. Okay. Now in the next term, as we have seen how the BFSK signal is transmitted and received conceptually, now we'll see the spectrum of BFSK signal. So talking about the spectrum, we also see the spectrum of BPSK signal in the last discussion. Now we'll see the spectrum of BFSK signal in the uh, discussion of your spectrum analysis or bandwidth analysis. So x-axis is frequency and this is your magnitude as usual for drawing and spectrum. Now if you see in BFSK, there are two frequency component. One component, one carrier means two carrier frequency. One carrier frequency is centered around lower carrier frequency, that is your FL, or omega L is called as 2 pi FL. Okay, and the second frequency component is your FH. So we will have two components available, two frequency components available at the output of the FSK, BFSK transmitter. So if you analyze this, one component will be centered around FL. Okay, so this will be the component centered around FL. Okay, and the second component will be centered around FH. So if you see, this will be the second component centered around FH. So these are the two frequency component present in your output of BFSK. So if you see, if in terms of FL, this component will be having term FL plus FB. It will be centered around FL plus FB, and at the same time it will be overlap with the higher component of frequency, that is FH minus FB. So this will be your FH minus FB also. FH, this is the lower component of your higher frequency component and higher component of lower frequency component. Okay, FH minus FB. Similarly, at the right hand side here it will be a component, that is your FH plus FB, FH plus FB, and at the left hand side of lower frequency component it will be FL minus FB. It will be FL minus FB. So if we analyze the total bandwidth requirement for your BFSK, then this is the center frequency FL and this is the center frequency FH. Then we can say the component from here to here, it is how much? It is FB. Okay. Then the component from here to here means at this part, I can say it is again equal to FB. It is equal to FB. And the component from here to here, that is a lower frequency component, is again FB. and from here it is again FB. So how much total bandwidth requirement is, if you add all these frequency component, there are 4 frequency component in terms of bit frequency. So the total bandwidth required for your BFSK is 4 MB. Okay. So the bandwidth required for your BFSK signal transmitter is 4 times your bit frequency. Bit frequency, again it is an inverse of your bit interval dB. Okay. So if you analyze your BFSK signal, it requires more bandwidth than your BPSK signal. The BPSK signal, the bandwidth requirement was, in BPSK signal, the bandwidth requirement was twice FB, while in BFSK, the bandwidth requirement is 4 FB. So comparable to BPSK, BFSK, that is the frequency shifting requires more bandwidth to transmit the signal. So that is the comparative analysis between BPSK and BFSK. Okay. So today we have seen the transmitter of BFSK, conceptual transmitter, its receiver, and the what we can say, the